let's get started. All right. All right, I'm going to mute you, and we're actually going to start in child's pose. So as you lay down in child's, use your blocks if you want. If it's comfy, if you need a blanket or something, you can use it, of course. Beauty of being at home. We can use the blocks for the arms in front to support the butt, back behind. Lay the shoulders on if you need a little elevation, or not at all. Take a moment to settle in, finding where your knees need to be the most comfortable. This is mostly important, obviously, because we're going to be here for a couple minutes as we breathe. We do need comfort, but it also has to do with where your hips land. So if the knees are closer together, your hips are going to be closed. If they're wider apart, you're going to get open hips. Either way, feel out the breath, feel out your space. Start to feel the hips pulling down and back with each little exhale. Stillness is hard, so you might feel the mind wandering a little bit. All we have to do is bring it back. While we may be kind of laying on the legs, our weight is compressing the chest. That doesn't mean that it inhibits the breath necessarily. We can still breathe slowly and deeply, expanding in all directions. And as with any pose, we start to settle in. Body gets comfortable, let's go, whether that's through the legs, the back, the arms. Feel free to take any little adjustments you need to settle in a little deeper. Still in your own little personal cave, but you could take up some more space. Reach forward, reach back, widen the knees, etc. Like I said, we're gonna flow, we're gonna move. We'll get moving in just a moment. A couple more breaths. Do you feel your next exhale empty? Start to climb forward real slow, real gentle. Adjust the knees along the way if you need. Come through tabletop all the way to, it's called seal or baby upward facing dog. Basically lower the hips. And then start to lift the chest. The chest will lift just a little tiny bit. Being mindful of the low back. Of course, you stay as low as you'd like. The feet can be a little wider. You can take it to a full-blown upward facing dog if you want to press and lift. Wherever you are, lift the chin a tiny bit. And then lay all the way down. Push back to child's pose. Exhale here. Finish out the exhale. Feel your hands planted so that you can move forward with the inhale. Slide back and forth. Upward facing dog or seal. That little baby back bend, little baby slide. All the way back. As we come forward this time, pause in the middle, tabletop, so the left leg can step straight out to the left. Kickstand, toes forward, and we slide again. Slide the hips forward. Seal, upward dog. Take it as far as your body will allow you. Slide the hips back. Few breaths back and forth. Inhale forward, exhale back to let go. Coming through center again. Switch yourself around. Left side in, right side out. Keep moving with the breath. Exhale back, inhale forward. These are gentle moves, but they are big, dramatic stretches. Use the breath to keep the body relaxed. Pace out. All the way back to center. Find your tabletop, knees together. Child's pose. Rest for a breath. And then climb forward onto the belly. Arms out to a T. The left arm will stay extended as you roll the shoulder down the back. And your right arm will come to the fingertips under your shoulders, giving you that support to roll to the side. Rolling onto the left side, remember you can walk your left fingertips up or down the mat. Find your correct angle. Find your breath. Come to let it go. Roll to the belly, arms out to T. As you switch sides to the right side, shoulder down the back. That's the most important part. The rest is up to you. The angle, the depth. The intensity will back off a little if you breathe deeply. Rest in. Come back to center. Hands under shoulders. Come to tabletop. And move through your cat and cow, carrying with that breath. Inhale your cow. Exhale cat. And get the chin involved too. This way your neck is moving. Maybe lift up to the fingertips, get some height. All the way back through cat. Find child's. Knees together, knees wide, mix it up, whatever you need. But your arms will reach forward and then slide over to the right. Add in that side bend, pull the hips down and back left. Big full breaths. And if you'd like to add a little flow here for a breath or two, you can inhale the left arm up to the sky. And exhale it back down. The movement does not have to be big. Just a little spiral goes a long way. Walk through center, over to the other side. Pull the hips down and back to the right. Feel the extension. Open up the right arm if you'd like. If it's too much, don't do it. No big deal. We have options. Take them, leave them. Meet back at center. Neutralize the hips, bring the hands to support, bring the hands forward and slide into tabletop. Right leg will lift up behind you. Slide the knee forward and come into pigeon. Now move gently, right? We usually do pigeon after we heat up, after all these things. We're coming right into it. Be gentle with yourself. Really observe. Listen to that feedback you're getting. And remember, we can have strength. If it is too much, too stretchy, you could kind of squeeze the hips together just a little bit. And what this does is helps you strengthen the floor. The more you relax, the more you stretch. The point is you get to control it. One more breath here. Move how you need, hold how you need. Hands under shoulders. Right leg back, lift it to the sky. Bring your left leg to tabletop just for support. Switch sides. Right knee down, left leg up. That little float in between helps us to switch things around. Left leg forward, pigeon. Settle in. Big breath. Remember, as much strength and support as you need, but slowly we start to let go, let it. Using the breath, using movement. Finally, we come out, hands under shoulders, back knee forward, left leg lifts. Knees to the mat. And we rise, tuck the toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. First one of the day, first one of class anyway. Move around. Lift your tailbone, bend your knees, straighten your legs, push your arms forward. Come to step front of the mat. As you come into little baby steps forward, ragdoll at the front. This is always a kind way to enter, and then feel free to straighten your legs only if you want. Told you before, but it's easy to forget the difference between straight legs and bent. Straight legs, we stretch hamstrings. Bent legs, we stretch the back. Both are great. You can do both. Heavy breaths, checking in, long breaths. Next time you finish an exhale, pause for a moment. So we can come up, halfway lift, lengthen your spine, pull the shoulders back. Exhale and release, will flow, but we'll flow slow. Come up to stand all the way to the sky, big breath in. Exhale, side bend to your left. Back up to center. Full breaths. Side bend right. Find your center. Fold it out. Exhale on the way. Halfway lift. Shoulders back. Let it go. Russell's in the bathroom just screaming right now. That's awesome. Again, the halfway lift. Exhale, release. I hope that's recorded. We can hear him howling all the way up, ladies. Reach to the sky. Side bend left. Exhale. Up to center. Side bend right. Exhale. Back to center and fold. Find your blocks. Have them near toward the front of the mat. Using them under the shoulders at whatever height you need. Step the right leg back. Pyramid pose. Remember, the depth is up to you. We will always kind of start with where we're comfortable. It's what the body does. You can take it further, but back off if it's too much. This first time into pyramid, find lots of movement. We're going to do pyramid actually quite a few times today. This movement, I decide, forward or back, folding, lifting, maybe bending, straightening a knee. It helps loosen up everything involved. Check in with your breath. Maybe lift the toes or lower the toes. And then come up to stand. You can leave your blocks near the front of the mat. Bend the front knee. Reaching down, blocks, ground, whatever, the back knee will lower. This becomes your lunge, and your back leg can slide back, or you can walk your front leg forward until you get your depth deep enough to feel stretch. Use the blocks or use your leg or the world around you to rise up just a little bit off of that leg, find some strength. And open up the left arm to a T, to a twist. You could press into the right leg or into the front leg with the right arm. You could reach through the opposite arm. You could do hands to heart. The details of the arms don't matter, but feel yourself twist through the midsection toward the front leg. One more breath. And we come all the way back. Come back to the blocks. Find a little bit of depth in the legs. Loosen in, breathe in. And then to come out of this, our stilts, we'll bring the left leg back toward the right. Child's pose in between sides. Notice the difference. You're in a little tiny ball, but you could wiggle, maybe scoot your hips side to side. Let's see what's going on the other side. Arms forward. Inhale up. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths, wiggle around. Elevate those hips. And come forward on the mat, feet to hands. Legs straight or bent to your call. You can do both. Inhale, halfway lift. Long breaths. Exhale, release. Rise to stand, arms up. All the way down, find your blocks. And we switch sides. Left leg back, right leg forward. Again, we will hit pyramid again, but for now, move. Lots of big movements. When you do kind of twist the hips, closing and opening them, you'll reach to each point of extension on the hamstrings, inner thigh, back of the leg, and twisting the hips or bending the knees helps your joints too. If you lift or lower the heart, we end up finding more depth or less depth in the stretch. Rascal. My goodness. And then we come up to stand. Pause in the middle, a little bit of balance, rise all the way up. Coming down to low lunge by bending the front knee. Reaching for the blocks, for the ground, slide that back foot back, lower the back knee. It's a gentle lowering movement, and then use your blocks, your hands, your heart to elevate off. Little bit of stretch, little bit of squeeze. Finally coming to a twist. Right arm opens up, right arm twists. Left arm supports, right? This could be to reach, to plant. Hand at the hip. Feel it through the midsection. Feel one more breath. Feel your right shoulder pulling back. All the way down. As you breathe, work to push back into your stilts. Legs come all the way to slide together. Knees together, knees wide. Your call, child's pose. We'll use the blocks again, but set them aside for now. Arms forward, tuck the toes as you rise up, tabletop to downward facing dog. Feel yourself evening out as you balance arms to legs, legs to arms. Finally walking it up, feet come to meet the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Let it go. Come to stand. Pause at the top, side bend left. Bring it to center and side bend right. Back to the middle, arms down and behind you. Oh, sorry, but either to airplane arms or interlace the fingers, just reaching the arms back, reaching the shoulders back. The heart forward, you could take it to a back bend, but it's more of a chest opener by nature. Lift your chin, inhale big and feel the expansion. Let it go. Bring your hands where they're comfortable for mountain, arms along your sides or hands at heart center, both are great. Close the eyes and just feel. We did a flow, we did big stretches, we loosened stuff. What's your body telling you? Can you relax through the jaw, the shoulders? Kind of loosen the body. We'll go a little deeper. Arms up overhead. Try and lift the right knee. And cross it over to eagle. So you do that little crisscross. We can simply pull the legs together, or we can try to get the ankle to a double wrap. If you can't do it, don't feel bad. It's literally your bone structure. It has nothing to do with flexibility. In eagle, there is a little squat involved, but again, not required. This is just a closed-legged balance. And then bring your arms down Cross the right elbow over the left. Official eagle arms, you're gonna bend them, pull them toward the face, wrapped up on yourself. Unofficial eagle arms is a hug. They're both the same thing. One more breath here. We are bound. We are curled up in a little ball and we're balancing. When we open up, we're gonna open up completely different direction. The left leg stays, the right leg's gonna lift up and out to our triangle pose. So the toes go wide, face away from the long edge of the mat. And this helps you open up toward the long edge of the mat. Your heart twists to the side, hands open up, few free flowing movements. Our triangle flow. Maybe you inhale one way and exhale the other. It doesn't matter which, it just helps you connect to your breath. And then here's where we head into a little bit of a strength flow. But here's the kicker, or the easy, here's your freedom, let me say. Okay, so when you bend the front knee, your left knee bends, all of a sudden we're a warrior two. We're strong, we can handle it. But if this leg gets tired, all you have to do is straighten the leg and you're in triangle. That's it, okay? The flow that comes in handy while your knee is bent is gonna be to warm up all this stuff in between. So feel your feet planted, your arms reach out, and then reach the left arm straight up to the sky and your right arm straight down. No pressure on the knee, just reaching. And reach through to the other side. We don't touch the ground, but we just kind of cartwheel the torso and feel the right foot push down, the right arm lift. And then back and forth. Again, if it gets bad, you straighten the leg, you take a break. No big deal, right? Our warrior poses keep us strong. They also really flex through the hips. All right, let's straighten it out. Triangle, arms up, reach, reach, reach. Turn forward on the mat and you'll find pyramid. If the legs stay wide, back foot pivots forward just a little bit. And then this time we're gonna interlace the fingers or airplane arms so that when you fold, there's a little bit of strength involved. Push down into the toes and squeeze the front of the leg for strength and balance. Come back up to stand. And all the way to the front of the mat. Option for arms overhead, option to balance the right leg lifting. Set it down. Bring your hands to where they're comfy. Hands down, heart centered. Check in. You did cool things. Let's do the same thing other side. This time right leg stays. Arms up. Left leg lifts. Eagle pose. We start with that bind, that wrapping. Legs wrap around as much as they can. You would do the left elbow over the right. And again, a hug is great. Eagle arms. It's going to be arms folded toward the face. Squat as deep as you want. Feel yourself curled up. And then open up all the way to the sky. Make yourself big. Fly out. Triangle. Left leg lands. And here's your free flow. Maybe inhale one way. Exhale the other. Just moving and reaching. Imagine you're kind of stretching yourself out before we do the next series. Got our taffy muscles nice and long. So we'll start to settle in. Again, right toes stay facing forward. Bend the right knee. Your escape is to straighten. Warrior two is great for us, yes, because we strengthen and all of these things, but when we squeeze the glutes and bend the knee, we're opening up that hip, and it puts some good nerve pressure. To reverse the warrior, we do right arm up, left arm down, again, just reaching. Side angle pose, the legs stay the same, and we switch arms. Right arm down, left arm lifts. A little more strength in the front, just by nature. Back and forth. Straighten the leg at any point, rebend at any point. You've done great things. Finally, we come forward. Pivot, pivot, pivot forward into pyramid. Legs straighten, toes just rotate. Arms bind or float in airplane, but the shoulders pull back. The heart drives forward. Squeeze the front of the leg. Take a breath. Option for arms back overhead as you lift the knee to step forward. You can try to pause and balance with the left knee up. Yoga is like slow motion walking, right? There's a kid quote that he says, yoga is just slow motion karate. I love that. All right, hands to heart center or along your sides. Close the eyes, feel it. Breathe. Good things are happening. Let's flow with our breath. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Plant your hands, step the feet back, downward dog. This is to lengthen. You find balance by moving back and forth, by pressing hands, pressing feet. Finally coming to lower the knees. All the way back, child's pose. Give your hips a rest, give your back a rest, and give yourself permission as you settle into child's to actually turn off. Especially after we move through any heated series. I mean, there's a cool down period, yes, but it's kind of an adjustment, right? A mental adjustment. Slide the arms forward, slide the chest forward, come to lay on the belly. Bend the knees and shuffle the legs, your windshield wipers. Again, feeling the head, the chest heavy, the arms heavy, finding that surrender. Reach back with the left arm, grab a hold of the left leg. Grab a strap if you really need one. We can also get pants, foot, toes, whatever. As much stretch as you can here. Option to lift the heart off of the mat. But remember, our focus is the front of the left leg. That's where we want to dig into stretch. Release gently, slowly. Switch sides. And approach it with caution, same as the other. We pull, we tug, we move a little. And if we need to go further, we can. It's not required. Heart can lift, but breathe. Let go. Hands under shoulders. Push to tabletop. In your tabletop, slide the left leg straight out to the left. Kickstand pose. 8-word Sanskrit pose. Slide down to the forearms and push your hips back. If we're on the forearms, we're able to kind of settle in a little bit more, but if it is too low for you, adjust. To take this deeper, you can twist the left arm under the right arm. Take it as far as you need. Lower the shoulder where you can. Breathe deeply. And as you release, work with an inhale. Inhales give us strength. Legs back to center, right out to the side. Kickstand on the right, slide the hips back. Again, as you settle in, you breathe. Maybe the right arm twists underneath. Maybe the shoulder lowers. Maybe we deepen the breath. Come back up. Ease together. Hands under shoulders. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward dog. Paddle the feet. And begin to step your feet up to meet the hands. Little baby steps to a ragdoll. Shake it around. Bend and flow. Straighten and flow. And we flow with our breath. Pause with the exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Let it go. Up to stand. Down to fold. A halfway lift again. These are for length. Exhale to release. Lengthen the legs. When we come to stand again, pause at the top. Interlace the fingers. Step your feet out wide. Your palms face up. Before you start to move, think about lengthening. It's called axial extension, but it's where you actually lift your head, the top of your head, away from your pelvis. And you're like, how in the hell do I do that? Think about it. And your body will respond. It's very interesting. And then left foot steps back, reach to the right. Now again, this can be a back bend if you squeeze the glutes and lean, but it does not have to be. You can focus on kind of the side body, and it's a little bit of the front side body. Okay, let go. Come through center. Arms are still up unless you need a break. Switch to the right leg back. Reach up to the left. How far back you go is up to your lumbar. Release to center. Hands behind the body. Interlace or airplane arms. Hold those shoulders back and fold. This might require a bend in the knees. You might feel good lifting the hands away from the body up to the sky. That might be so intense that you're like, hell no, stay low. Okay, fine. You'll feel stretch either way. Breathe. And then let the arms go and let them dangle. Step your feet wide on the mat. Shift your hips side to side. You can use the blocks if you need to reach the ground. You don't have to be touching the ground. This little pendulum motion helps loosen your hips, but you'll start to feel the muscles in the legs too, side legs. Come on back to the middle. Rise up slowly. Head and shoulders come last, almost rolling the body up. He must love the spotlight. It's funny, if I leave my mat out, he doesn't care. Anyway, okay, so we stand, blocks at the front, right leg forward, left leg back. This is our last pyramid pose. Grabbing for the blocks or the ground if your body's ready for it, but that gets real intense real fast. We want to find kind of that sweet spot where you're able to press into the feet, press back through the hips, lengthen the legs, lengthen the spine, and then keep your left hand where it is and open up the right arm. This right arm's twist is going to get super intense. It feels really tight and pressure-like on your outer right hip. In order to distract from that, circle your right arm, finding big movements or small. Work to lengthen your hips, lengthen the leg, lengthen the spine. Finally, bring it all the way down. Right arm stays, and when your left arm opens out, remember to move slow because we will throw our weight back. It's easy to topple over. Left arm opening up, slide your hips straight down the mat, almost back in space behind you. Neutral pyramid, couple more breaths. And we have found movement. We found all kinds of things in pyramid today. For this last few breaths, try to find length, intensity, and stillness for one breath. Let it go. Soft bend in the knee. We stand to the front. Move, dude. Wiggle around a little bit. Rise up to stand, rolling the body again. Get your hips in the neutral place. Step your right leg back, left leg forward. Blocks are our friends. Reach for that sweet spot. We can adjust, we can move, whether it be legs, arms, hips. Search for length, length, length. And then the right arm stays, and the left arm opens up. Twisting toward the legs, a little bit easier balance-wise, but it's intense. Smooth that arm. Circle through your left shoulder. As you circle, work to straighten your left leg. It's intense, but movement distracts us. Breath helps move. Finally, come forward. Hands down, left stays, right out, and remember, move slow. When we open up and find that balance, slide your hips straight down and away. Think about reaching through the arms. This helps you reach into your twists. Both hands down and work into that neutral pyramid. Again, your happiest little pyramid. We're going to try to hold and press, find some sort of stillness. One fold. Soft bend in the knees, step it up. Use the blocks to assist you in ragdoll. They can help by taking your body weight out of the equation. Legs just get to wiggle freely. Step your feet a bit wider, maybe as wide as your hips, maybe a little wider, and do the same thing, just move around. Most of the weight is in the arms. We have done tons with the legs. You're almost done with it, I promise. Okay, come up to stand, roll through the spine, rise up slowly, arms up overhead. The feet can go even wider if it feels good, and reach into those kind of 5-point star flow movements. Reach one arm, reach the other. This is free yogi movement, as big as you can. Your next exhale will bring you down to a fold. Bend the knees if they need it. You can set the blocks aside. We are done with them. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, release, plant the hands, step your feet back. Find downward dog and pedal the feet. The last one, lengthen through the legs. Scoot your hips up and back, side to side. Bring the knees down to the mat and work into child's pose. Settle into child's. Now I recognize we started here, right? So our knees have done this, our hips have done this. Our spine has done this, yes. What has changed? And maybe it's more so mental at this point. Those muscles have kind of eased in. Where now it's like, all right, let's check in. What's our personal cave saying? Where is our breath? Where is our tension hiding? Be gentle as you slide forward. Lay on the belly. Bend the knees and shuffle the legs. Your windshield wiper freedom side to side is going to loosen not only knees, but low back. We haven't spent much time on our back at all, so let's go there. Go ahead and roll over as you are ready. No more props, just you and your mat. Constructive rest is a nice, happy place to start. Knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Your feet can step wide, so your knees rest together, and then check in with your spine so the spine feels long, the shoulders relaxed. Arms can reach out or up, take up space, but feel comfortable. And begin to do those windshield wipers again, but with the knees this time. Your shoulders and your hips and your feet will anchor you down, but the rest gets to flow. Maybe even pressing down enough that you feel some massage through the back side of the body. Let's Keep up that massage before we get into some stretches on our back. Arms along your sides, shoulders pull together and lift your knees just over your hips. Your legs will move as one into little circles. Pick a direction, either is great. Circles can stay small. This will work on your hip joint, your sacroiliac joint, loosening, massaging, softening. Your circles can go wider. This will get into the glutes, the side of the hips, and also the abs. Beware. Pause your circles, move them in the other direction, and again, start small, move as big as you want, come back to small. This way you kind of get the full range and you get to see what you need. This is one of the poses that takes a little strength, but your body loves it so much. Woo, we just ride. Release it down. Let your feet come back to that constructed rest. Lengthen the spine if needed, and your knees can go ahead and fall all the way to the left. Reach your right arm out. Look to the right. Maybe you hook your left foot on top of the right knee if it helps your hips. Watch a few rounds of breath and sort of observe the heart rate, the comfort, any residual heat. When you see an inhale coming through, use that inhale to pull yourself through center. Knees fall right, lengthen the spine along the way. Maybe the right leg goes on top, but it doesn't have to. So you look left and settle in. Feel heavy. Feel the breath. It's just this little bit of expansion that comes with each inhale that's just enough to open us up. Unravel the legs, pull yourself back to center. Feet come together and knees drop to the sides. Bound ankle. Feel free to squeeze the glutes or kind of activate by pressing into this pose. But remember, gravity does do the work. Let go if you would like. Reach the arms straight up to the sky. Cross the right elbow over the left. If you want to give yourself a hug, that's a good starting place. If you'd like to take it to the eagle arms with the double wrap, bend and pull them toward the face. It's cool, it's not required. Some shoulders hate it. Wherever you are, pull the elbows down toward the chest and then look side to side, just a slight gentle roll of the head. You might feel neck stretches, but we don't need to press into them. The pulling of the shoulders down actually does most of that for you. Come to center, unravel the arms, left arm on top this time, and do the same thing, whether it be the hug, the eagle arms, or somewhere in between. Pull your elbows down and move just a little bit. Say the details don't matter because they literally don't, right? We don't want to press our bodies into a place they're uncomfortable with. All you got to do is cross the arms. Let go of the movement, let go of the arms. Bring your legs to center and all the way to the chest. Feel your tailbone or your low back kind of pressing into the mat. Maybe you squeeze the forehead up, roll side to side. Hold on to your right leg and let the left one float away. Whether it be bent or straight is up to you, but it'll go onto the mat. Interlace your fingers on the back of the right thigh and kick through your right heel. Pull the knee in and up as you kick. This is our reclined pyramid. We've done pyramid multiple times. We know how to do this. Breathe into that hard place of stretch. One more strong inhale. Let it go. Switch sides. Move gently, making sure the spine feels long and the right leg feels comfortable as you get the right knee into place. Kick and press. Pull just a little bit through the arms. Take big breaths. There is an uncomfortable place here. It's not pain. It's on the edge. Just breathe. Let it go. And happy baby. Yay, we made it. It's the best one. All right, especially after a leg class, right? We've done so much with legs, hips, inner, outer, front, back, all the things. So feel free. Yes, we wiggle side to side. It helps the spine. It feels good, but definitely kick to all points of extension on your legs. Like clockwork. Try 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4. Isn't that how the song goes? Lunges or twists. You hit a tight spot, breathe. We'll release the happy baby to simply let the legs float. When we do legs up the wall, if they're wobbly, if they're having a hard time staying up there, you can bend the knees, you can hold on to them. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfect. But what we do want to focus on is the head, the shoulders, that softening through the upper body. This way your spine can really lengthen and just sort of put everything back into place. Legs up the wall is one of the most beneficial poses in yoga. This and child's pose, if you look up any beginner's yoga or what to do for your low back or legs, these are it. The hardest part, arguably, is the patience that comes with it, right? So we have the breath. It moves for us. It holds us present. Watch a couple more rounds. Gently bring the knees down. Let the legs go long. Take a full body stretch. Step the feet wide. Maybe squeeze the glutes. It'll help lift your hips. They don't actually have to come off the mat, but just a little squeeze. Push side to side. Walk into little baby bananas, reaching into side bends. What would you do if you were standing, right? Bring it to center. Knees toward the chest. Wrap the arms around. Pull yourself into a little ball. And again, think about the low back. Hold on to your right leg. Left leg goes long. Head and shoulders relax. This wind relieving pose, it's literally what it's called, yes, will help your hips, but it helps more if we move them. Move your knee side to side, in or out, up or down, keeping the leg bent. So this way you've got lots of mobility. I'm going to do 2 more extremes with each of the hips. As you come into these extremes, again, your point of resistance, okay? You don't have to push anywhere. Open that leg out to the side, half happy baby. Grab a hold of your right leg. And as you try to push the sole of the foot toward the sky, think lizard pose. If we were on the ground on our feet, we would be in lizard. You could rock or kind of rotate, squeeze your right knee out to the side. As you release this, move real gentle, keep the right leg bent, and come all the way to a figure 4. Knees in toward the chest, rock side to side. Your figure 4 gives you that freedom to move and freedom to find your own stretch. Outer right hip. Come to center, knees together. Left leg stays, right leg long. Your wind relieving pose. Move the knee side to side. Find your half happy baby. Knees to center, knee to center. Left foot, we kind of get a hold, we push the sole of the foot toward the sky. And remember, it's equivalent to that half lizard or lizard pose. How do you squeeze into it? Kind of press the foot, push the knee, rotate, breathe. All the way from half happy baby, carry the left foot across, figure four. Your right knee will come in for support. You could rock, you could squeeze. When you release yourself out, find a full body stretch. Last one. Point and flex the toes. Bring the knees toward the chest, wrap the arms around, squeeze into a little tiny ball. Lots of strength here. Strength comes with inhales, so find a big inhale. Let it go and fall to the mat. Your final Savasana. Always, always your Savasana. Bound angle will be great to continue to open the hips, counteract your warriors, only if it's comfortable. Use a bolster, open the arms, use a blanket. Or say, hell no, I'm done. And melt. That's great too. I love that. That's the place to be. All right, gals, we've done great things. We got full body, we did shoulders. Lord knows we got hips, legs. Here's your space to let go. We've seen what we can take on, what we can embrace, what we can challenge. Now we find ourselves just heavy. Letting go. Letting feet soften. Legs melt. Fingers curl. Arms relax. Shoulders sink. Belly softens. So do the shoulders and the jaw. And our body loves to transfer this energy up to our face, forehead, or tongue, or lips. It can even be helpful to forcefully turn on your face muscles, squish the face, and squinch it up, and then relax it. Let it go. Feel yourself melting, surrendering mind.